Hey guys, hi, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a bonus general message. As always, you guys, these come from just kind of what goes on usually during my hikes in the morning. And so it just starts the inspiration for the read, and then we see where it goes. So the other thing I want to mention, don't forget, you guys, starting on November 1st and running all the way through January 1st, if you're watching this series of reads that I put out every day, you will have an opportunity to win a different gift that I'm giving away every single day for those 2 months. So I hope you guys will join me. It'll be kind of fun. I'm super excited to get started on that. Okay, so my walk today with my puppy, you know what it was? It was just, I'm going to say clean. What I mean is there was nobody else. Not anybody at the trailhead of the place that I go to where we would begin our hike. We didn't cross paths with anybody. It just felt, and there was like no traffic, and it was just quiet. And we weren't out that early. I think he got me up at like 7:30 this morning. So I think we weren't really hiking until like 7:45. I live really nearby where I took him to hike this morning. So I just kind of rolled out of bed. No, I didn't have, somebody asked me the other day, do you hike with your jewels on? No. My wardrobe in my hiking is what I call troll mode. That means no makeup, no concern about the hair, no jewels, and usually like my most haggard and tattered clothing. So it's nice. If you guys ever saw me out hiking, you wouldn't recognize me. It's perfect. I can still go incognito. No, this hike this morning was just very freeing in many ways. It was very comfortable. It was very, what I felt like is it was a huge sense of not a loneliness, but a sense of relief, like somebody has shed connections, energies, anyone that you don't really want in your life anymore, because they brought drama. It was a cleansing of, like, there was no drama. There was nobody else's stuff. There was no other voices. There were no other individuals around. So that's the perspective that I had in regards to how this storyline begins. So have some of you cleaned your palette? Have some of you cleaned out people in your life that didn't necessarily bring about joy and happiness? You got the 9 of Cups in the reverse for the first card out. And you know what's funny? Here we have like kind of a party scenario, lots and lots of people, right? This should be a card of tons of, like fulfillment. 9 of Cups is happiness. Maybe some of you have realized that you find a greater sense of peace and happiness by having stepped out of a room full of voices and people. Even if something seemed like it was a party, maybe the intricacies of the interactions between these people that are at this party, maybe just because people come together to have, a good time doesn't mean they actually all get along. And there can always be drama and stuff like that. And if you have said, you know what, I just don't have a taste right now to go out and be in a particular interaction with a group of people or with a particular person, it doesn't really please me. You may have become aware of that. And instead you're finding a huge sense of peace in not going to a party or not talking to somebody anymore. A lot of readings on my channel anyway tend to gravitate toward, love and, coming together with people. But man, it's funny. I'm one of those people where I'm not an extrovert at all. I'm an introvert, and nobody knows that. But I very much an introvert, and I recharge my batteries by going solo. So I'm one who spends quite a bit of time as a solo person, and a lot of the things that I do for hobbies are kind of solo hobbies. And it's interesting to see that maybe this will make sense to some of you out there who, it doesn't mean that I don't love to be around people. Also, I love humans, but at the same time, I'm kind of more like a one-on-one interaction type of person, not really a party person per se. It takes a lot of energy to get out there. So I don't know if that'll make sense. I don't know why I'm telling you something personal, unless maybe that makes sense to some of you. Queen of Swords in the upright. And you see how she's, even the way I look at this, she's overseeing something, like getting it from a bird's eye view. You notice how she's really tall, really, like Godzilla style, lady, and standing on this island, and she's so much taller than the island. And so she has like a perspective where she can look over things, but not necessarily interact with people who would be of normal human size that were living on the island. Some of you may be stepping back and seeing things from a higher perspective. It's funny because I hiked up to the edge of a cliff this morning, as I typically do, and just really, Aries, my dog, and I both sat there, and he was just like content to just sit. You know, normally in the mornings he wants to hike, but in this morning it was like he too wanted to sit on this ledge that we go to and just overlook. And I looked back at him and he was in the full sun and he was so happy. I started checking emails and things and responding to people that I needed to get back in touch with, because I was like, all right, he's enjoying the sunlight up here. This is kind of the same thing. Maybe you're enjoying stepping back, getting above it all. Doesn't mean you can't still be productive, or that you don't still interact, or that you don't have like love in your heart for those who live on this island, but you are pulling your energy back, but not like isolating, not like I don't want to talk to anybody. It's not that. It's this deep comfort in one's own company, I suppose. Queen of Swords is about a truth. It's about having good boundaries, and maybe that's it. Maybe some of you have said, if I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed with interactions, it's okay if I pull my energy back. It's okay. Wow. 10 of Cups in the upright, Prince of Swords in the upright. Holy smokes. You've got a big change coming up. Some of you are, the reason you might be pulling back and acknowledging how nice it is to pull back, or some of you, okay, so I don't know why I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it. Someone who used to make you happy, they're not a part of your life anymore, and you understand why. You understand it from a very peaceful space. It's not because you're like, oh, that person hurt me, they did me wrong. They might have, but you're really looking at it as, I had so much stress with that person. I couldn't trust them. So did they hurt me? Did they deceive me? Yes, but really, if I had tried to interact with them again, would I have been able to, really say that I would trust them again? Or would I be able, because this is about truth and clarity. I feel like some of you have recognized that your life is actually calmer. Even if somebody had hurt your feelings, even if somebody had upset you, your life is actually better without a certain individual or a certain group of individuals. So it's a sense of peace, because whatever didn't make you happy, you're actually pleased it's not a part of your life anymore. Also, I keep looking at this, and I think it's funny how the curvature of the table matches in perfect alignment with the sky, the cloud in the sky. I think that's very interesting to see that. Like one card almost seeps right into the other. And again, what we've left behind has elevated us to this other place, kind of like up in the sky. You see things with such a clear view. And not only are you feeling contentment right now in who you are, but you actually realize that you are so much closer to having a totally different storyline that leads to a totally different version of happiness. For some of you, you might have had a partnership in your life and you thought it was happy. Maybe it never fully achieved complete happiness, though, because we've got the 9 and now we've got the 10 of Cups. This is the real deal. You might have had a false, someone that you were passionate about. Maybe there was all kinds of conflict and drama and excitement and all of that. But now you're like, God, I don't want conflict and drama to be my excitement. I don't want passionate breakup to then makeup. I want real happiness. And you're realizing now that it's actually a good thing you didn't end up with that previous person, because your real happiness, the place where you really, I want to say, belong, that is right up ahead for you. It's like, oh my gosh, what an incredible change in energy. Now to see this Knight of Swords or Prince of Swords, the same difference. This is a sudden and rapid change, a rapid approach. It could be somebody else, somebody new coming into your life. It could be you changing something dramatically about your life. It could be, this is usually like thoughts, communication. This is action taking. You're on the move, whether that's, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. You're on the move toward great happiness. And that's going to make somebody not so happy. We got a King of Wands in the reverse. Somebody's very jealous. They see you truly moving on. I feel like some of you, at the same moment in time that it clicks into your head, your heart, all your chakras are aligned with this vibrational sense of, I'm so glad I don't have the drama of that past situation, whatever that was. We could be talking about career. We could be talking about family matters. We could be talking about a lover. But the fact that you are certain now that that wasn't making you happy, and that you actually have this profound sense of peace, that you have removed yourself from it. It's like all of this stress or continuing anxiety around something is just gone. It just melts away all of a sudden. And you shift into a profound sense of happiness and an awareness that you have so much more right up ahead. And it's I feel like very swiftly you're going to be having some incredible turn of events that sweep you up. And it could be new people that you meet. It could be something like an adventure that you suddenly take, something that you've wanted to do and you're going to. And I feel like you're just flooded with all of that thought process of the new, the next, what's ahead, the happiness that is truly within your grasp. And someone at the same moment that you become cognizant of all of that, there is a profound sense of jealousy, I want to say. Somebody who had been, I feel like whoever this was that you dealt with in the past, it doesn't have to just be a person. It could represent the energy of an entire organization or something. This is somebody very, 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 very prideful. They could have been very passionate, but in the reverse, this was somebody who wanted to win, maybe wanted to think about you missing them. And it's like, I feel like to the chest that goes, they don't like me anymore. They're actually happier without me. And they realized it. I feel like they hear it just like you feel it. Or they see it on you. Maybe somebody sees this on you and they go, you were supposed to be missing me. Like, I feel like this person was very, very arrogant. Like if this is somebody who had been in competition with you instead of being a collaborative partnership with you, they actually were thriving on that. They didn't mind that you were in separation because they kept thinking, and I know you're thinking about me all the time. This is somebody like that. And all of a sudden it registers that maybe that's what it registered for you. It's like, why would I want to be around somebody who thought those thoughts of us? Somebody who actually kind of had fun with the drama, who wants to feel, wishes that I'm hurting and missing over them. That's not love. We don't want somebody to hurt and miss us if we love them. We want to come together if we're healthy. We want to talk it out and get things smoothed out. So I feel like this was somebody who is extremely distorted, perhaps, when it comes to what love is. But it feels like they are recognizing that you truly are on your own way. The Hermit, Virgo energy. This is, if there had been the ocean next to me, this is like the cliff that I was on today. You're at the edge of this cliff overlooking the sea. The sea represents emotions. This Hermit, I feel like some of you have been single. Possibly this has been a long time that you've been single. Possibly this has been like you've been healing yourself oh so slowly. And now you didn't just heal, but you listened every step of the way. I feel like there was a lot of silence between you and this person. And I feel like now you're actually almost grateful for it, because you kept slowly, maybe through a lot of tears, maybe through a lot of hard work, maybe through a lot of like asking yourself day after day, okay, I know it still hurts that something didn't work out, but do I really want that drama back? Or maybe it finally registered for you that somebody had more than enough time to try to come in and show me their heart or make amends or help restore a connection, but they never wanted to restore a connection. They actually wanted to have a perpetual, like vying for who's in control. Like they somehow, whatever this situation is, I'm sorry, there's not such a nice vibe. I'm not painting this person in a very nice way, but I don't have a nice interpretation to give you when the King of Wands is in the reverse. Not in my thoughts anyway. And especially not with the lions here. This is I want to say poor quality sense of pride. I think pride is an excellent thing to have because it makes us hold ourselves to a, like some form of a status. Like self-pride says, no, I'm not going to do that because that would be against my personal convictions, and I have pride in holding my head up and knowing that I stand for something. This person, when this goes into the reverse, that's not the kind of conviction they have. This is somebody who wants power. They want to manipulate. They don't care if they hurt. In fact, in this case, they may like the idea of grinding somebody down and having them under their thumb. Not okay with me. The more somebody wants me to bow, the less likely I am to do that. That's not the way that's going to work. And I feel as if one step at a time, you figured out in your own heart why something wasn't working between you and this person. Maybe it also sunk into your mind that, wow, I can't believe someone really, truly enjoys the conflict that we have, or would enjoy thinking of me being sad over them and playing mind games. I can't believe someone would do that. But if you've come to the conclusion that some people do operate that way, this is what they've shown me. This is all that they've shown me. So even though I can't comprehend that, if that is what they have shown me, it registers and it sinks in, and you just accept it. And you come to this place where part of that acceptance was part of this healing, was part of this incredible journey. And without knowing it, you went through this process, like continuously moving toward it. You didn't sit there and do nothing. Every step you took every day got a little bit better. This still could have been a very long time. This could have been years. This could have been 2 years. This could have been however long it took. But do you notice what has happened? Along this journey has come so much understanding of oneself, of the interactions between humans, of different types of personalities that are out there. Clearly, you might have also developed a ton of compassion, understanding that if someone behaved that way, they must have their own set of problems. Everybody does, right? And so instead of feeling angry, instead of feeling hurt or having to tell them, you're a bad person or blah, 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 you just simply found acceptance. And that's kind of what the hermit is. Calling a spade and accepting it. And it's like, that's where they're at. That's who they are. And that's why I don't mesh with them. That is my acceptance. And that is also this tremendous sense of power. You have created this sense of awareness, abundance, acknowledgement, true sense of harmony. And that is a profound sense of power within you. And now you stand here. And again, without you even realizing how much you have learned, how far you have come, how far you have developed your own self, your sense of self-worth, your sense of acceptance and understanding of maybe human beings and how we're all semi-flawed, and not being angry over it. You now like literally shed white light like crazy. You see how his hand is like hemorrhaging power and energy. This is such a beautiful, to me, that is true wisdom and true, to be able to accept even things that are hurtful and not let them twist you. And instead you use it as a development, and you go beyond it, and you go through the pain, and you gain perspective. And then you actually come to that conclusion that I am in a better phase of my life, and I am looking forward to the next phases of my life, because nothing stays the same unless people choose to remain who they are. But you have gone way beyond it. I feel like you guys came out of this so much wiser, so comfortable in yourself, so aware of your self-worth, so aware of where someone else is tangled up, but you've just accepted it. I think that the most important message here then is the lack of self-love. And I feel like if you walked away from this relationship or group of people or whatever the scenario was, you've come to understand a particular type of person who does not love themselves. Ace of Cups in the reverse. With the High Priestess here, this experience will serve you so well for the rest of your life because you will recognize the signs and the signals of people that don't love themselves enough to be authentic and true. I feel like you started out as a pretty straightforward person, but you've developed a new sense of I'm trying to think of something in different, like, you know how you can open up a cookbook and you can see the pretty pictures of different dishes of food. And if you couldn't read, you would just look at that and you'd be like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. I want that. And then if somebody made you that recipe, you would be like, this is amazing. But then if you know how to read, you can look at that cookbook and you can read all the ingredients and you go, oh my gosh, I could make this. And if there's a special technique, maybe you go and you find somebody who can help show you how to make that particular dish in that unique way. You're able to, whereas before you might have seen something, now you can interact with it differently. So basically, if you meet people that behave this way in the future, you'll be able to not only, now you have the ability to read them. That's what I guess I'm trying to get to. You have the ability to read people because you understand more of the nuances of human traits, human behavior. This is not a judgy thing. This is more like you trust your intuition, but you also have an ability to recognize when people don't necessarily love themselves enough to be authentic, or when they thrive on drama, or when the words that they say are coming from a place of they're jealous of you versus, you know, wanting to be around you, because some people will be very drawn to you and very jealous of you. So they want to be around you, but then they're not nice to you. And you go, why are they around me when I feel like they don't like me? And that might have confused you before. Now you realize this person, they want you to fill their cup. They don't love themselves. They see that you do love yourself. Can you teach me how to do that? Can you teach me how to read? Because I can see you know how to read. I know that you know how to make those dishes out of that cookbook. They can spot it in you. They can see it in you, but they don't know how to do what you're doing. There will always be people that might be drawn to you because you have this solid and profound self-awareness and self-love. And now you understand that about you. That is one of the things that attract people towards you, that perhaps then almost immediately want to go into competition. It's like they want to knock you down a peg or two, but you're realizing the truth of it is they want to feel as solid in themselves, maybe as you do. So it's a very intriguing reading, I think, especially because this is something maybe you subtly knew, but maybe you denied it because you thought that sounded arrogant or something. But it's like, you know what you know, right? The High Priestess is the things that are hidden from view, but things that you can still tap into and pick up on. And you'll be able to identify this and be more just upfront with yourself and be like, okay, it looks like this person is kind of starting to play some games with me. That's too bad. They're going to have to work on themselves, or it'll change the way you interact with them so that you don't wind up getting wounded or hurt when you recognize that somebody maybe needs to work on their own self-love. Maybe you have a habit of meeting a lot of these people in life, again, because you already have your level of self-worth. And you've wondered, why do so many people come towards you, where you do this repeat cycle where they get into this competitive thing and you go, why are they drawn to me if they don't really seem to like me? Never seems to work out. It's like now maybe this is you learning that component of that lesson for your own self. It really was just opening your eyes to this. Interesting. I just want to remind everybody, my readings they're just stories. I never know where anything is going to go in these stories, but they are only stories. I am not psychic. I don't practice the psychic arts. I have no particular wisdom. I have no background in psychology. I have none of those things. So please just know my readings are only stories. It's as if I'm writing a book right in front of you. That is actually the way I consider myself, because I am actually a writer on the side. And so I have kind of like, this is a wonderful, like, creative flow for me. So please know I can't offer you any wisdom. I don't intend to. I don't tell people what to do. I don't give advice, and I don't predict your future. Only listen if this is entertaining and if there's something of interest that pops up. So if not, then just release it, and please don't let any entertainment ever get in your head and make you sad or unhappy, because it is just that. It is only entertainment, okay? So please always choose something happy and healthy for you, whatever that may mean. I wish everybody the best. Bye.